Whatever you can do or think you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic.
So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us at What's Up, your Business and Wealth Accelerator. Today we have Wong Joo Seng. He is the founder and CEO of Spark Systems. It is a fintech company that is a builder of high-speed trading platforms that are used by hedge funds, banks, and financial institutions.
Thank you, Liz, for having me here.
Yeah. Where did you start your career?
First half of my career was in trading markets.
Yeah.
So I was a trader for a local bank, for an American bank, and for a New Zealand bank.
Yes.
The benefit of a very thorough start to my career under a very capable boss who became a mentor and helped me understand the structure within the bank.
Okay.
That was very useful for me because I had the opportunity to start a new co, which was the derivative trading arm of GK Gold Stockbrokers.
So you are also an angel investor and a venture capitalist. How has your experience in these areas shaped your own investment decisions?
It's a good question. My profile was largely formed from my exit with my second company in MDEC when Ant Financial came in. For a while, it was kept confidential. That was the acquirer's decision. But eventually, when it came out, I had founders, would-be founders, reach out to just bounce the idea off me. I think if anything, I have managed to convey to the market that I don't steal ideas. I guess in the business, it's called deal flow. And I'm fortunate enough to have sufficient deal flow to keep me in the loop. I've made a deliberate decision to not get hemmed into fintech. If you look at industry, even in the time I've been around, and that's less than one career length, the first success came in tech. The Microsofts, the IBMs, the Apples, etc. Right? That's moved to fintech. So the use of technology in finance. It's moved to sustainability now.
So then how did you progress from there? Because you're not there anymore, right? You actually started another company before this current one, wasn't it?
Yes. So Spark Systems and builds next generation of trading platforms. And it is my third company. My first was GK Gold. I had many products to offer and happened to catch the boom in FX in the early 2000s. GK grew into the largest FX trading house in Asia. The pain point was trading platforms. I found them to be slow, clumsy to use. I noticed the development and focus by investors on US tech stocks, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple. My second company was set up to address the opportunity first. Company is called MDAQ, MDAQ. And MDAQ's focus was to quote stocks in the currencies of the investor. You would convert FX, even today, between 100 to 150 point spreads. At MDAQ, we brought the spread down to 15 points. So 90% cheaper. We were able to allow for investors to then graph it, chart it, do their studies, moving average, relative strength index, momentum in the currency that they were trading in.
Say that you went from your career in banking and then into entrepreneurship. Like, how did you navigate all the uncertainties, of leaving behind a secure job?
It took maybe about a year to a year and a half for me as a young joiner in a bank to kind of figure it out, to understand how this works. I was in the credit department, which is actually one of the main pillars of banking. And then I spent some time in trade finance, international trade finance, letters of credit, bills of lading. So I had a very broad-based banking start. You'll need to know client deposits. You would need to know leverage factors. You would need to know existing positions. So you could give a client 10 times leverage. So things like that, which is from a trading perspective, these are the parameters that you need to know. So we got a capital market services license from the MAS in leverage foreign exchange trading, in futures trading, and subsequently even in equities trading. So the company was full service. And it was an enriching experience. And I was wonderfully supported by the management team in the company.
So what inspired you to start Spark Systems?
It wasn't so much inspiration as being in a vantage point with GK Gold by then already being the largest FX trading house in Asia, to be able to view the landscape clearly, understand where the problem areas are, understand what was moving in the industry, as in I saw a shift from the trading of domestic shares. And typically you would have in country, almost any country, easily 90% of equity trades domestic. And only 5 or 10% trading in overseas markets. But with the US tech boom, I saw that there was a real willingness to trade Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, shares that were really trending, that were doing well. The idea that shares should be traded in multi-currency so that the investor wouldn't have the problem of converting dollars to and from was very appealing. That was the first idea. The second was at GK Gold Financial Services. We were large, high volume traders. We were trading 10, maybe 11 billion a day. We found that trading platforms were not great. A lot of them were old, they had legacy issues, they were expensive to use, sometimes not stable when markets were very fast. So that kind of compelled me to the idea that maybe if I could one day, with sufficient financial support, address this problem and build from scratch on a clean canvas, next generation FX trading platform. The first company that I started, GK Gold, had parents that were able to support the company with cash. So it was a startup on trainer wheels, in a sense that I was often reassured that there would be funding available if we ever needed money to grow the business. Who came and stepped into entrepreneurship directly from a corporate world.
So then how Alibaba came to be involved?
Ali listed in the New York Stock Exchange or on the New York Stock Exchange in 2013. The storyline was changed to the fact that Ali had listed and had already conquered China. And next steps was global domination. They wanted to conquer the world. And to do that, it just so happened that what I had was something that the company could use. Instead of pricing Google shares in Japanese yen or Google shares in Hong Kong dollars, can the company price T-shirts, handbags, merchandise in a different currency?
So I'm sure the question that a lot of people might have is, how did Alibaba even know about you? And your company.
This is where connectivity, friendships make a very big difference. This person who immediately was interested in knowing what MDAC was doing. I, of course, explained, gave a very detailed sort of narrative of what the company was there to do. I had the teams from Alibaba, including Lucy Peng, who was CEO of Ant Financial. We exchanged notes. They did a due diligence on what we were doing. And, there was a good fit.
How did you build your teams to ensure that they're strong, especially your leadership team?
I think it's very important to keep politics out of the way. My focus has always been, what does the company need? At times, finance will want to tighten the budget, which means sales cannot push ahead. At times, you will listen to your sales team's requests. At times, you have to cede to your finance and accounting constraints. But I think as long as you show that your focus is purely for the company's benefit, and there is, nothing beyond that, people accept the decision.
Do you have certain principles you sort of practice or live by when you are hiring people?
I don't have any cultural bias. I don't have any nationality bias. It's always the best person for the job. If you don't, you're going to find that the company is moving at a pace that is slower than a competitor. And a competitor is doing things faster, more responsive than you can. And that's when you start to fall behind. So talent to me is non-negotiable.
How does the company's culture come into play when it comes to a fit for a hire?
Spark has been voted fastest growing company for many years. Financial Times, Straits Times this year, and 4 or 5 years running in the past. But what I'm most proud of is really that the team voted Spark as best employer.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's one thing to get a fast growing company by driving everybody hard
Yes.
and making everyone miserable.
Yes.
But for the team to actually say this is a good place to work,
Yeah.
actually
That says a
was
lot.
very heartening.
Yeah.
The important conversation to have with the initial team is that when you first form, it's like the Wild West, you know. I'm the sheriff, you run the saloon, someone is the blacksmith.
Yeah.
In the initial stages, it's all good.
Yeah.
Company grows,
Yeah.
right? But at some point, and everyone needs to be alerted to this, you have hit the limit of a personal capability. The key really is you need to always be careful whether you have the right team on board.
Yeah. The follow-on question I have about that is like, when you're looking at a company to maybe invest in, right? What are the core traits of the founders and their teams that you look for before you will even give them any money?
I would look for a brilliant idea that is being brought to market by a very good team. And in that regard, you will always need a good team
Yeah.
to be resilient enough to push the idea across,
Yep.
but not be too inflexible
Yep.
as they wouldn't tweak the idea.
Right.
So that actually, I would say a good team is critical.
Yep.
But things happen, you learn new things, and because of that, decisions vary, decisions change.
When all these founders are pitching to you, what are the common mistakes you see that they make when they're pitching?
It's not difficult to give a good pitch, right? Some of the basic considerations are who's in your team, be precise about what you want to do, what your idea
Yes.
is. You also need to have some idea of the addressable market, right? How big is the addressable market? The target, right?
Yep.
The value of the target needs to be highlighted to investors. And
Yes.
investors may not agree, right?
Yes.
But at least they have a base model to work out. Go like, oh, no, I don't think that this idea is worth that much. I think that you've overestimated the number
Yeah.
of people who might want to use it. Yeah. The other thing is be careful about the risk.
How would you get unstuck if you were stuck on something, but you need to make a decision?
If you sort of get entangled in personal loyalties and how you must repay back loyalty that has been shown to you, and therefore need to make a decision that's not necessarily healthy for the company, or you really have to establish that you're serious about this,
Yeah.
that the idea is well-grounded, that you have an execution team that can make this happen. And I think the job of the founding team, of the founder himself or herself, is to reduce that element of risk.
Yeah. So in terms of like trading platforms, like the ones that your company builds, do you see any trends that are surfacing, and is AI part of them, or how would AI impact?
Interestingly, the better we do our job as builders of platforms, the more invisible we become.
Yes.
Because the idea is not to have a system crash, not to have glitches, not to have trading issue logic that doesn't work, for example. And we have clear and understandable what we call execution logic, right? The system must behave in a rational way.
Yes.
So I would say that our job is to make ourselves invisible. So it's basically the trader with the market. The decisions can be made by complex computer algorithms that have been programmed to look for certain patterns, and then it trades. Can be AI generated.
Yes.
So there's a lot of tech that goes into trading.
Yeah.
I would venture more than 80%, easily more than that, maybe even 90%, of trading is driven by AI in some way, shape, or form. But we are just basically providing the framework. Yeah, we do have AI. We allow the connectivity into our platform so that AI-generated decisions coming from our clients can be executed in the market. But we don't specifically use AI ourselves.
So what are your personal lessons that you have learned in your journey?
A little note I read, but it says, whatever you can do or think you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic. And that has driven me on several occasions already. You know, if it's something I've done before, I know whether I can do it. If it's something I haven't done before, then I try and think through the necessary steps. I don't think you need someone to give you a warranty of success before you start something. It's okay to fail. It's okay to get it wrong and then quickly correct certain elements of it. And I think people often take it too hard upon themselves to be able to know how to do it completely before they start.
Yeah.
And that often is what stops innovation.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the first thing. And Sheryl Sandberg's book, What Would You Do If You Were Unafraid? I thought was a compelling question, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you didn't, or if a person didn't worry quite as much about making a misstep or failing, I think amazing things can be done. And this is really an era of doing it from someone who has never worked before. But to me, a lot of the push will come from experienced entrepreneurs, people in industry who have done it for years and who suddenly think, if this could be done, it would be a lot better. Or if that could be achieved, that would be a lot better. That comes with experience, that comes with professional knowledge. I think that that's an important element.
Okay, so the last question I have for you is, what would your advice be to younger founders?
I feel that where I started was where I should start in trading markets. I think that's an excellent place for someone who, I wasn't born wealthy. I didn't come from a wealthy family. So I feel that trading is a very good way to accelerate your acquisition of wealth.
Right.
You made a call and you knew it almost instantly, sometimes in the next 3-4 minutes, sometimes in the next 3-4 days. You know whether the call was right. And you constantly learn how to make a better decision. So I like that part of it. Being able to be a founder of my first company, I thought not having a financial worry of where money was coming from made a very big difference to me. I'd never done it before. I would have worried whether I could run a company and handle fundraising at the same time, and whether doing one would take me away from the other too much. And I couldn't figure myself out from that one. I feel that knowing that you had a parent confident in you and willing to give you a rope to run with was very good. It was very reassuring. So I wouldn't change what I did, but I'm on the other hand, I don't want to canonize my path. I think the world needs this, right? The problem statement. And I think that if you can reduce that to where it's actionable, then it's a very good start. So to me, even if current systems already have features and functionalities that the trading community needs, I think that those have been built at a heavy cost to efficiency and something that I can solve by building something from scratch right now.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I really found this conversation very educational and enlightening. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. It's been invaluable. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you having me on.